The Vietnam War is a book marked with sharp edges. My father knows that there are some pages missing in his memory, so he'd rather not tell the story at all. He says it's not important. He says I will never need to know his past so long as my future could validate his suffering. He says that it is a privilege to know a pain he's worked so hard to repress. For the things my father does remember, he recalls in detail. Sometimes he can reenact a grenade. With the right trigger, he can make an explosion from his tongue, can turn our nice house into a familiar ruin. Perhaps the trauma is where he feels most at home. I try not to question him. I've learned to trade a free tongue for safety, not to speak when spoken to or shouted at. Yes, sir, a head nod. Which hand should I hit next? Better one hand than the whole body, battered in bruises as a child. I learned the lesser of two evils was taking all the blame anyways. And this is how I respect my elders, the way my father learned from his. And who am I to question tradition? Why fight what was coming? Why talk back to the hand that fed and bruised me? And once, my father told me to punch him back. When I told him of my panic attacks, all he could hear was insult, impossible, you must be crazy, I did not raise a stupid son. He tried to survive or guilt trip me out of suicide. What do I know of a drowning home, of refugee camps and starving children, of losing a parent right out of college? He's about the same age my grandfather died. It is one of the few things he does not let me forget. My father tells me to punch him back, to validate my emotions with this next blow, and he notices the reflection in my eyes and dares to see which beast was stronger, which man was man enough for a fight. Son, go ahead, hit me. I curl my fingers into bricks, begging for a reason. I flex hard, not knowing if to hold myself back or to intimidate him. I deep breathe until I get high off my own rage. There were only so many breaths I could take before it felt like choking, before my lungs collapsed my body and turned my last breath to a war cry. I bottled up silence for so long. My throat became a loud confession. I shake the house. I crash my body before my fists ever crashed him. Every ounce of air I use for a siren, and the family does not get to leave until I release a 19-year-old rage that even my father was scared of. And ain't that exactly what I wanted? To prove that I can be young and still know pain, that I don't need to escape a country to see how much of the ruin my father brings home. And if a man gets shot at war, does his son inherit the shrapnel? Do I have to pick up all the broken pieces and all his bad habits, his and mine included? I know very little of his past, yet so much of his presence. My girlfriend tells me I look just like my father. When I get angry, I sound like him too. Which is to say, I get scared of myself, of what I can break. If something breaks me,